Welcome back to the Bean Shed, folks. Today's a great day, and that's because we are doing the yearly maintenance on the old Cub Cadet today. Pretty basic stuff, oil change, blade sharpening, so nothing too severe or crazy, but it's always a good day when we're able to do this and get this ready for the cutting season. So let's get started. Nothing too crazy going on today here, just a basic oil change here. We've got 10W30, 2 quarts, got a new oil filter, of course. Gonna throw a new fuel filter on there as well. Haven't done that ever, I don't think, on this mower. And then I found this little sort of extendo funnel tube thing. This will be really helpful for getting the oil out. It's kind of a weird setup here. I'll show you that in a minute. First thing we're gonna do is take the actual mower deck off. This has to come off anyway to get to the blades, and this will give us a little bit more room under here while we're trying to change the oil as well. So the first step is just to go ahead and lower this thing down to the ground. Next is to go underneath here, find these little sort of J hooks, if you will. These are what attach the actual lifting mechanism to the deck itself. So this is the rear passenger side tire. This is the mower deck, of course, and then here's the little J hook. So what we want to do is take this out, pull towards you, and that releases one side, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Next is to remove the actual belt here. There's a number of pulleys that are attached to the deck, and then there's one pulley up front that's attached to the actual top, the mower itself. So we need to detach this belt from the top pulley so we can actively freely move this thing in and out. And this belt is going to become loose and it's going to come all undone from these pulleys. That's fine. I'll show you how to get this back on there properly afterwards. That gets the 2 hooks on the bottom out of the way so you can pull the thing out freely. And now that we got the deck off, we can prop it up to have access to the actual blades underneath. So we got 3 blades under here. What I like to do before taking these off is just go ahead and label each one so I can remember, left, middle, and right, and then what's the top and what's the bottoms. Middle and right. Now we got a 15/16 on here. Seems to fit on there pretty well with all the extra grass and dirt that's caked on there. These are tricky to get off by hand, with a ratchet or something, just because they move as soon as you start trying to loosen them. So I like to just hit it with a little impact real quick. Seems to do the job pretty well. Before we do any sharpening, I always like to come in here and try and get all that crap off. Look at that. I mean, I do this once or twice, maybe even 3 times a year, and it just piles up so fast. So good thing to do is take the toe knife, if you know, you know, and I just cut it all off. Now, on average, I probably sharpen these things, I don't know, at least once, usually twice a season. These are a couple years old now, maybe only 2 years old or so. They get dinged up. We've got a lot of roots and stuff all over the property. So I just hit it with the stone wheel real quick to kind of get all the dents out, and then I go over it with a mill bastard file, pretty quick. But this is not gonna be the same amount of time or effort that I would put into, a nice knife or an axe or something like that. Hit it with that mill bastard file. And now that the blades are sharpened, we can start on the oil change side of things. I'm going to turn it on and let it run for just a minute or so, kind of let the oil warm up. They recommend doing that to obviously drain it out a little bit better. Engine's warmed up a little bit and we can start draining the oil here. This is consistently a pain in the butt trying to do this. The drain plug is over here on the passenger side, technically, under the starter. It's this little yellow cap. And as you can see, it doesn't, the plug itself or the drain doesn't come out past the edge of the frame here. What ends up happening is you take this off and then it just starts spilling all over the frame. So that's why I picked this little thing up. This might be able to help us kind of get up underneath there and drain everything into the drain pan that we have underneath. But it's always a pain in the butt, so expect to get dirty here doing this. Oil filter. New oil filter. Part number 1205001-S1. Remember, just go hand tight with these. You really don't need to crank it on too bad. $10W30. And quart number 2, going for about 1.7 quarts total here. The last thing I want to do is replace the fuel filter here. Got a brand new one, universal. I imagine it'll fit. Looks to be about the same size. So we'll first take the old one out. Should be pretty self-explanatory. Take some pliers. Take the bottom part out first here. Make sure you have a drain pan or a little old gas tank underneath. Make sure that nothing spills on your floor. While that's finishing up, go ahead and take the other hose off as well. Just go ahead and take the new filter. It's pretty plug and play as it seems. This is still dripping out a little bit, but I think we're gonna go ahead and try and plug it up as is. There's a very, very convenient diagram to show how to get the belt back around the pulleys. It's going to be impossible for me to show you on camera, but just know that a lot of these tractors have these stickers right on the deck itself. All right, that's about all she wrote for this one, folks. Got some fresh oil in there, new oil filter, new fuel filter, sharpened blades, air in the tires, just generally your basic go-to maintenance, once a year kind of stuff. It's going to make the machines last. It's going to make your life a lot easier. It's going to make the machines run better. And really just something that you can very easily do. You don't have to pay anybody to do this kind of stuff if you got basic tools and know-how. So thanks very much for watching. I'm going to take this thing on a spin, make sure everything works properly. Remember to subscribe if you like this kind of stuff, and we'll see you on the next one.